Welcome to Snippets, Bits and Bobs, a weekly themed channel of an eclectic collection of excerpts, quotes, poetry, and lyrics, read in a soft-spoken, slow ASMR style to relax, inspire, or evoke a memory or two, perhaps to bring a smile or make you laugh. So I hope you'll be as excited as I am each week as I share new themes with you. If you are not familiar with what A.S.M.R is, please check its definition in the description box below. Welcome to our retreat space and oasis, where it is essential to slow your pace and breathing in order to unwind and listen as I share this week's theme and readings. Aesop's Fables. These are famous, iconic, timeless stories with a moral at the end. There are over 300, way over 300 stories handed down in the oral tradition and credited to a Greek slave, Aesop, who was also a storyteller, who lived between 620 and 564 BC. And they're usually about animals, legendary creatures, inanimate objects that speak or are humanized. The stories are also about humans and their faults and foibles. And granted, some of Aesop's fables are not only his, but were collected from others during the late Middle Ages from Europe and other parts of the world. So today I'll share 5 short stories about humans and other fables about wild animals. The first fable is titled The Man and His Two Wives. In days when a man was allowed more wives than one, a middle-aged bachelor, who could be called neither young nor old, and whose hair was only just beginning to turn gray, could fall in love with 2 women at once and marry them both. The one was young and blooming and wished her husband to appear as youthful as herself. The other was somewhat more advanced in age and was as anxious that her husband should appear a suitable match for her. So, while the young one seized every opportunity of pulling out the good man's gray hairs, the older wife was as industrious in plucking out every black hair she could find. And for a time the man was highly gratified by their attention and devotion, till he found one morning that between the one and the other he had not one hair left. Moral of this fable: he that submits his principles to the influence and caprices of opposite parties will end in having no principles at all. The second fable, The Old Woman and the Physician. An old woman who became blind called in a physician and promised him before witnesses that if he restored her sight, she would give him a very large reward. But, said she, if he did not cure her and her malady remained, he should receive nothing. So the agreement was made, and the physician tampered from time to time with the old lady's eyes, and meanwhile, bit by bit, carried off her belongings. After a time, he set about the task in earnest and cured her, and thereupon asked for the stipulated fee. But the old woman, on recovering her sight, saw none of her belongings left in her house. When the physician importuned her in vain for payment, and she continually put him off with excuses, he summoned her at last before the judges. Being now called upon for her defense, she said, "What this man says is true enough. I promise to give him his fee if my sight were restored, and nothing or no fee if my eyes continue the same. Now, then he says that I am cured. But I say just the contrary, for when my blindness first began, I could see all sorts of furniture and goods in my house. But now, when he says he has restored my sight, I cannot see one piece of furniture or belongings." Moral: he who plays a trick must be prepared to take a joke. If you are enjoying this video, please subscribe, like, and comment. Thank you. So let's move on to the next fable, which is titled The Wolf and the Lion. A wolf, roaming in the mountains, saw his own shadow while the sun was setting, and become greatly extended and magnified, and he said to himself, "Why should I, being of such an immense size and extending nearly an acre in length, be afraid of the lion? Ought I not to be acknowledged as king of all the collected beasts?" While he was indulging in these proud thoughts, a lion came upon him and killed him. The fox exclaimed with a too late repentance, wretched me, this overestimation of myself is the cause of my destruction." In the next fable, which is titled The Ass, which is the donkey, the ass, the fox, and the lion. An ass and a fox, having made a compact alliance, went out into the fields to hunt. They met a lion on the way. The fox, seeing the danger, made up to the lion and whispered that he would betray the ass, the donkey, into the lion's power if he would promise to leave the fox harmless. The lion agreed, and the fox contrived to lead the ass into a snare or trap. The lion no sooner saw the ass secured in the trap than he fell at once upon the fox, while reserving the other for his next meal. Moral: be careful what you ask for, or when you create a trap for an ally, there may be a trap for you. And finally, the fable about the lion and his 3 counselors. The lion called the sheep to ask her if his breath smelled. That's right. The sheep said, yes. So the lion bit off her head for being a fool. He called the wolf and asked the wolf. The wolf said, no. So the lion tore him in pieces for being a flatterer. Finally, he called the fox and asked the fox if the lion's breath smelled. The fox said, truly, truly, he had a cold and could not smell. The moral of the story: wise men say nothing in dangerous times. I just loved Aesop's Fables, and I look forward to doing more in future videos. Welcome, new subscribers. If you haven't already, I invite you to subscribe and hit the like button. Also, share your comments below about this video and tell me what topics you want to hear in future videos. If you'd like to see recent videos of snippets, bits, and bobs, see the links in the description. Also, click on the bell icon on your right to get the latest videos when they are uploaded, usually each week on Tuesdays. Can't wait to share next week's theme with you. So, have a good week and see you soon at Snippets, Bits, and Bobs. Bye-bye.